So if I could direct your attention to the back of the church, give a nice wave to all of our people sitting at home, joining us from the safety of their home. Give them a nice wave. Megan and Frank, welcome to you. It's good to have you. Right? And let's focus all our attention over to the music ministry in the dead center, like the rose between the thorns. Madam Principal, please stand up. Today is Starts Catholic Schools Week. She's doing a great job for our community. Give her a round of applause. So way back at the beginning of the new school year, we taught everybody a phrase. There were yard signs all over the place. They made them to Georgia and Stearns Road in North Olmsted. The phrase was, see the good? You remember this, see the good? And then we even did a song, look for the good in everyone. You remember the song? Look for the good in everyone. Remember this? Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. What do you got to do?
Look for the good in everyone.
This is like really devastating. You couldn't remember that for a whole semester. Let's do that one more time. See the good? Yeah. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. What do you got to do?
Look for the good.
Much better. Give yourself a round of applause. So that was September, the first semester. We have now clicked into the second semester. New lesson. Very exciting. Are you ready for this? You ready for this? Because in June I'm going to ask you this and you're not going to remember either one of them. I'm going to be devastated. So first semester, see the good? Yeah. Ready for this one? Hear the good, speak the good. Hear the good, hear the good. Now I'm going to devastate you. It does not have a trendy song. But it really sums up everything we need to know about the first reading from the book of Deuteronomy. I know the book of Deuteronomy is a bit obscure, so let me walk you through it. But it can be summed up. Hear the good. Hear the good. So here's the gist of this. The people needed somebody to speak plainly in their language the messages and the promises and the work of God. So what do? They said, God, send us somebody so that we can hear the good news with our lives, so that we can hear it, so that we can understand it. And what did God do? He listened, he responded, and he sent them, one among them, to speak the good news. And as that story from Deuteronomy will unfold, it really is a charge for all of us to hear the good news, and you and I are called every day to speak the good news. And if you think about, it really is somewhat providential as we bring to a close this month of January, where we have heard discourse all over the place, yes? This obscure reading from Deuteronomy, which we could easily dismiss and move right to the gospel, speaks to us a message that we really need to hear. That you and I need to hear the good news. We need to hear the voice of God so that we can speak the good news. And that we can use our lives, our voices, and the words that we speak to bring others the presence of God, the message of God, and the hope of the gospel. So way back in September, see the good? Yeah. Deuteronomy, first reading today. Hear the good, speak the good. Now, you're not going to have a trendy song, and you're not even going to get yard signs. But it's something that we should all grab onto. That we should, to the psalm, not harden our hearts, but allow ourselves to hear God's word. Go to the gospel today. When they took the time to listen to what Jesus had to say, they were mesmerized. They were spellbound. What is this? It's a whole new teaching. It's a whole new sense of authority in their midst. 3 things then for this week. The first is this: listen to God. Very clearly, God is going to speak to each and every one of us. Take the time to listen to God. And when you hear God, much like the responsiveness in the gospel, you will be intrigued, you will be captivated, you will be riveted. You will know at that moment that God is speaking to you. It may be literally a word, but you will know that God is speaking uniquely, specifically to you. Secondly, listen to others. Listen so hard that in the conversations you are straining your ear to hear the voice of God speaking to you, in your spouse, in a coworker, in a classmate, in a customer, in a friend. Strain your ear to listen and hear the good, the God, the good news. And thirdly, speak the good. And the best way to do this is listen to yourself, what is coming out of your mouth. Listen to the words you use, the vocabulary, the message, and ask yourself at the end of every day, did I speak a deeper truth, a greater love, the good news of Jesus Christ? If people listen to me today, would they have heard the Lord speaking to them? Because this first reading from Deuteronomy, it is a bit obscure, right? It can be easily glossed over. But if you think about all the things all of us have commentated in one or another way, we need to shift the discourse. And the way to do that? Hear the good, speak the good. Hear the good, speak the good. Take some time to honestly listen for the voice of God. God will speak to you if you allow yourself not to harden your hearts, but to open your ears and your heart and listen. When you speak with others in conversation, strain your ears to listen for the good. Listen for the God. And honestly, listen to yourself at the end of each day. Reflect, did today, by what I said, the words I used, and how I shared that, did anybody hear the voice of God speaking through me? Because these people, they said, God, we need somebody who understands us. And that somebody is you and I. Hear the good, speak the good.